Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is also podcast Summer House Edition, Season 10, Reunion 3. You think we're at the end. We're not. There's a bonus episode.
And not even just like the secrets revealed old way where we used to just do that for Patreon. Oh, cute little deleted scenes. This is some real shit.
I don't know if this is actually going to be real shit, though. It's going to depend
Okay,
how Bravo edits it, dare I say.
I think it's twofold. How did people show up? What was the topics discussed? And yeah, how is it going to be edited? Lindsay got called by Andy Cohen on his radio show today, and she said she went in there with some hard-hitting questions because she was pissed at how the reunion ended. But she was also trying to thread the needle of like telling her some shit Amanda needed to say. So asking questions and putting Amanda straight. So I think Hub House will handle this for us.
Okay. We're also going to get Kyle and West, which I don't.
I don't have faith in that. Kyle has said in his interview and people that he wasn't firm enough and he wishes he went in differently. So.
And then we get Ciara and Miha, which, like, that seems like a very fun friendship.
I'll take anything from that.
I don't know if it's what's, like, gonna scratch my itch after this reunion.
Agreed, because, like, Miha has been dragged through the mud enough for, like, not signing up for this that I don't think she's gonna go on there and say all the embarrassing things that she lived through. And I totally get it, but I want to know every single molecule of, like, information.
I would rather they stick all 6 of them in a room and see what happens.
I think Amanda and Wes need to be separated. I will say I do have more faith because it's one-on-one. Because remember when Raquel broke during her interviews for like the Skin of All bonus episode before the reunion? But she was doing interviews and her interviews were after the reunion was filmed. So I think separating them, having them say their details separately is helpful. I do wish there was a scene where we did get them back together and we compared notes, or at least the OGs, like the Lindsay, Kyle, Ciara, but whatever.
I guess we'll see. Honestly, this is very pessimistic of me. I don't know if my itch is going to be scratched from this bonus episode. Even with Hub House, I think that I have a lot of questions that just like are not going to ever get answered, and
there's not enough time. Is on
okay with that.
Like what we're running against too.
It's also just like they're never going to say.
No.
They're never going to say. You know, the real hero of Summer House has been Jesse Sullivan releasing a timeline. That's
people are still on him about it, though. They think he's covering for Amanda and Wes before the timeline starts, which I'm like...
No, he was so bitter in that timeline. The first day it was like, Amanda and Wes go out to dinner without me. And then in like March, it was like, Amanda made a sarcastic comment to me. I left. Yeah. I was like, he's...
Because also, what I want people to know is that's his timeline where he interacted with them and had thoughts. Like, he's not going to include Amanda and Kyle's divorce. Like, that timeline moment doesn't matter to him.
100%. Okay, well, before we get into the actual reunion episode, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, let's put a bow on this. I don't know. Let's just end it. I'm so over it.
Yeah.
So previously on the Summer House reunion, Wes and Amanda did ear stuff. Lindsay and Carl have a great friend chemistry. Amanda took 0 accountability. Wes said he took accountability, but actually he took 0 accountability. Wes had a girlfriend, Miha, who Ciara and Kyle called. Everyone's making Amanda feel stupid for trusting Wes, and they think it'll get easier. But I think this reunion episode was the single worst one for them. This made them look even worse. Like, it was just... I texted you and said it was like watching the same murder, like, over and over. Like, it got painful to a point where I was sitting there, like, cringing for them. Like, I was Bailey, where I was like, just say no. Just shut up. Just take accountability.
It was very embarrassing for them. The fact that they thought it would get better shows that they don't understand what is actually going on, which means that you cannot have a conversation with that. And that's why that was painful, is it was like talking to a brick wall the entire time.
Yeah, it was not great. Anyway, so we're back from the break that we just took at the reunion. We hang up with Miha. Thanks for the chat. Bailey and Amanda sit really quick while we're waiting for everyone else. Amanda says she is not hanging in there. And Bailey gets a little emotional and she's like, I'm worried for you, Amanda. And Amanda says, maybe she's naive, but she feels like her and West have had a lot of conversations, and that makes her feel secure. And Bailey says she doesn't trust West, and Amanda says that's okay. And maybe she'll wake up one morning and know this is the biggest mistake, but it's hard to sit on this stage and explain herself when no one's going to listen. To which I say, maybe if you made some fucking sense, people would listen, but this is all bullshit.
And stop lying. Like, we do know a lot of the big lies that they're trying to spin, and then there's this big gray area where, like, I don't actually know the first time that they fucked, you know, but I know it's between these two time frames. So, like, run us through some of this. You're not actually saying anything. Maybe it's edited out, but from the last two parts that we've had, I haven't felt like Amanda and Wes have tried to share information. I feel like they've just tried to get people off their back and to say, leave me alone.
I feel like they're trying to just like answer enough to be like, this will satisfy everyone. And it's like, no, it won't. Just because we ask you when you hooked up for the first time and you say after the statement, tell me more.
Yeah.
Tell me more. When I ask you about the conversations you had and you say it's private, that's not good enough.
Nope.
I want to know.
That's the thing, is like there's a lot of nuance to this, because the issue is not just the first time they banged. You know, it's the entirety of the relationship. It's the first time they flirted. It's the first time they felt feelings, and it's the continuing to constantly do it. And so unfortunately, saying one date will never be enough. And I agree with you. I think they're trying to say enough to not add more dates out there, to not add more information truly out there, while appeasing people because they verbally responded.
Yeah. They want to be like, we answered your question. And it's like,
did you?
Not really.
Yeah.
You just said words.
Just because you said words does not mean you answered the question.
Okay. So Carl says Lindsay is unbelievable and it's fun to watch.
I mean, he's not wrong.
And she goes, it's because it's not at you.
Very true.
I was like, there you go. And then we all sit down and Lindsay's like, Carl, Jesse, you're both 6'5", and Jesse looks way shorter on the couch. And then Kyle's like, remember when I called Kyle a 6'5" motherfucker? And everyone's like, yeah, remember when you thought you ate with that?
Yeah, like, that wasn't a diss, my guy. That is a reason to be proud of.
So Andy gets his cards for the rest of the show, and it is meaty. And may I say, Andrew Cohen, question for you. I'm sure, as an audience, submitted a ton of questions. Why are you not reading the questions that go, Amanda, you're such a snake for doing this to Ciara. How can you look yourself in the mirror? Like, let them know we're pissed. I'm sure they can infer, but you don't think these fuckers are reading only like the positive comments and being like, no, we have fans. And it's like, you don't.
I've seen that heavily on Threads. People are like, I submitted questions and I have not heard one question from the audience being asked. Like, of course, it's a long shot for my question to be asked. But usually you can tell the sense of the questions that are generally being asked. But no, we have not gotten a Susie from North Carolina.
I think there was only one this episode. I remember someone because Andy kept trying to say her name while people were arguing. But like, we only got one. I miss when it was like Andy at certain housewife reunions, I forget which one specifically, but he will sit there and be like, okay, Susie from North Carolina asked this question along with, Meredith from Illinois, Alicia from New York. And he'd be like, we got this question a lot. So,
yeah,
like, eat them up.
It's also crazy. Like, that was a large stack that they're obviously going to go through. And I feel like we got nothing. Like, to watch the producer be like, yeah, this is a meaty stack of questions. Okay, it was all fat because we trimmed it all.
It's also stupid. Like, we're back. The first question asked is, how did we get here? What do you think Wes and Amanda are going to say? We got here by car?
The questions were way too vague. And Annie would just be like, okay, what do you think? What do you think to them?
Like, give Lindsay the stack of cards. I'm so serious. Okay, anyway. So, Wes says, so how did we get here? Wes was a steady support for Ciara all summer. When was that more than just a friendship? So, Amanda and Wes started going out a lot in February and March with Wes's friends. And then Wes backtracks and says that actually him and Amanda have mutual friends, which we know is not true. Amanda's only friend is stupid Katie DeLuca, who I hate.
And this is what bothers me, is they constantly waffle between telling the truth and then coming up with, like, a lie, and it's smushed together constantly because Wes waffles between we have mutual friends to Amanda was hanging out with all of my friends. Just because she became friends with your friends does not mean that they were her friends originally. Yeah. Like, okay, now they're friends because you guys have this weird love affair and you can only hang out with them.
Yeah, we go out with Wes's friends, and Wes saw her happy and having fun, and then he said word salad, and he ends with, it was special that Wes brought her out with his friends. This whole thing took about 20 minutes, it felt like, and we got literally nothing from Wes's answer.
And listen, if I blew up my life and we're sitting on a reunion stage, and the only thing that you can say about me is that you feel special because I'm happy, that is about you, Wes. Like, you should love Amanda for who she is. I don't like Amanda, especially right now. But, like, she has qualities that you should like in her if you're pursuing her.
No. She was miserable from the moment I met her, and then I saw her have fun and said, you know what? I guess.
I did that. I did that.
I made her happy when Kyle could never.
Yeah. It's an ego boost. He loves it.
Great. So Andy's like, okay, Amanda. And Amanda says there's no specific moment when her feelings for Wes click. It was like that there was a night where Wes was kind of he looked at Amanda and he's like, am I crazy or do we have a vibe? And then Amanda says all the feelings came flooding in.
That's not how it works.
That's literally not how it works.
No way.
That's literally not how it works. Maybe I have never been close to this. Maybe that's on me. And there are girls out here that get this all the time. But if my best friend's ex was like, do we have a vibe? Even if there was remotely a feeling, I would go, no. And then I would tell my best friend.
Even if you do, because you're asking her to do all the things that we said she should do. But, like, let's take this from their actual point of view. He says, is there a vibe? And you act like nothing's been happening. Clearly something has been happening. You do have a vibe. You do like each other. To act like it came flooding in out of nowhere on your side is wild. And also, when did this happen? Because they're pretending like this is a new thing. And then later in the episode, they're like, I want to get back to, like, 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago.
Oh my
and it's
God.
like, okay, so when did this start? When was this conversation? Because the only time I can pinpoint through Dumois posts is February 3rd, which is right when the season started.
Which is Super Bowl.
Inappropriate.
Was that Super Bowl?
Before the Super Bowl. It was before the Super Bowl, yeah.
I would have pinpointed my spot is the Super Bowl. And to shout out.
That's when he had a conversation with her at the Super Bowl?
No. That's when they were, I can surely say they were an item.
Oh, yeah. But I'm saying the dinner that they had alone where...
Oh, in Miami?
Wes says, I have feelings. It's either Miami or it's the one that happened the night before the Summer House premiere in New York. They had like a martini dinner and it was on like February 3rd.
Was that when Jesse Solomon was not invited? Oh, no, Miami was February 10th.
Things.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think also, not to
Miami's
shout out.
after the Super Bowl.
Oh, okay. I don't have the timeline. All I know is by the Super Bowl, these two are dating. I don't care. That is all I need to know.
Or at least are clearly like into each other that other people can tell.
It doesn't even matter. We're never going to get a fucking timeline.
No. And it pisses me off.
We can't even argue about it. Okay, so was there an affair this summer? Both of them. Absolutely not. Wes says he recognizes that he lied to people in this room, so he gets that. The things they're saying today, people have no reason for trusting them. And Jesse's like, not only did you lie, you made us feel crazy for even thinking it could be true. And then Ciara's like, yeah, you tricked us, and then you like breadcrumbed us on Instagram.
I would never be friends with people who do this to me.
No, Wes commenting on Ciara's post in March.
March is crazy.
Diabolical. Also, if I'm Amanda, that's embarrassing. Stop that.
Yes, but she loved it because it like helped them keep it a secret. She was getting off on that.
Do you think he was like, oh my God, I'm going to comment on, like maybe they're together and he's like, I'll comment on Ciara's
in bed.
Thing. Yeah, they're oh my God, ew.
I wouldn't put it past them because like I don't respect them. They are liars, not just in the past. They are actively lying at this reunion. And so like I can't trust a thing you say. And then to hear that you were gaslighting your friends so hard is wild. Like I don't know how the rest of this group is considering maybe having a friendship with Wes and Amanda.
No, never. Are they?
I mean, Jesse talks about it like, I don't know if we'll ever make it back. And like,
I think it's a no. Jesse chose violence and shared that timeline. I think Jesse said...
No, Jesse's doing that out of self-preservation. Let's be so honest.
I don't know. I feel like... here's the thing, right? I think the cast has been lied to and hurt by these two. But I also think people would be smart enough to be like, even if we want to be friends again, we really can't have you in our life. Like, you really did hurt us. You fucked us up. Like, even if, for me at least, there are people that, like, have hurt me or done shitty things to me, and maybe I won't be actively mad at them or hate them, and if I see them out, I'll be like, fine. But never will I let them into my inner circle again. Like, I could see Jesse being like, okay, if you want to grab a beer, Wes, but, like, Wes cannot come over to Jesse's. Wes cannot be in Jesse's friend group. Wes is not invited to Jesse's birthday or whatever the fuck they do.
Like intimate experiences in your life.
I think they'll just be like... I think
most of this cast, if Wes and Amanda got invited back for Summer House season 11, nobody on this cast would decline it. Outside of Ciara. Nobody else would decline it because it's their job. Like, they're willing to move past it to some capacity. And that's the difference between reality and real life, is like, in real life, I do not think these people would be friends. Yeah. Like, you have a lot less to lose, but like, this is your job.
Yeah. Like, I think Lindsay would do the show, but I think she would just make their lives miserable as she did for 100%. Amanda for 9 years or whatever. Anyway, Ciara says that they're both calculated. Mia on Watch What Happens Live had said she thought something happened this summer. So Andy asks her about that. And so Mia says in the last few episodes, during the Kyle and Carl fight, Amanda was with the girls, very calm and collected, and then she saw Wes and she went into his arms and started crying, and Wes pulled her head into him, and Wes tries to interrupt, and Mia goes, I'm not done, and then Wes mumbles. There was a lot of mumbling from those first two chairs on Andy's left side, and yeah, Wes mumbles, gotcha. Mia also says during the fight, Amanda goes out to talk to Kyle, and Wes grabs Amanda in a way that's very close to her chest. And then I would add in that it looks like he smells her hair. And Mia just said,
her head.
Yeah, Mia said, I don't think you would ever grab me like that or Lindsay like that.
That was a really good point, because that was weird. We all clocked it because of the, like, scandal. But I hope that we would have been like, that's weird. Why are you touching your friend's wife like that?
I think the hug where she's crying would have gotten me. Because even the first time watching this, knowing the scandal, I didn't clock initially when Wes, like, grabbed her.
I saw it online, and so I went back and watched it. You would kind of had to put your brightness up a little bit because it was so dark outside.
Yeah, I didn't really clock it. But I thought the hug was weird no matter what.
Because
he really does
the head
sniff
and the
her.
Smell was weird.
The sniff is weird. And so Wes says, if you thought something was weird this summer, like something weird happened, it would have been flagged. Mia says, no, it wouldn't have, because we saw Amanda as a victim and we thought you two would never do something like that. And Lindsay says it was perfect.
We didn't see all of that. Like, as the cast, we as the audience saw it, obviously.
Okay.
Surveillance footage. The cast was not standing around Amanda and Wes as they're hugging and he's sniffing her hair.
That's true. Kyle's like yelling, and I'm not going to be on the cast being like, but what is Wes doing with Amanda?
But what are Wes and Amanda doing? Like, I'm not clocking every single moment of your life to see if you're weird, because you shouldn't be weird. So why should I have to track that?
Yeah. And also, I get what Mia says, where it's kind of like, even if my friend was being sketchy with my ex, I would think she could never do something like that. So I'd be like, okay, he gave her a hug and she cried, but like, that's nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would never think that. Okay, so did they have crushes on each other? They both say no. Wes was just getting close to her. Amanda got lost in her marriage. Amanda says in her whiny, high-pitched voice that I cannot stand, and I haven't ever been able to stand it because she uses on Kyle all the time for like 10 years at this point. She says that looking back, it's so easy to watch this through a different lens, but everyone lives in this house and that's not what was happening. And it's so frustrating because Amanda's not a cheater. As she told us in the city, she's telling us now, she doesn't cheat.
She's making this such a black and white issue. I don't think you physically cheated on Kyle. No. But you were inappropriate. And if you can't see that, I fear that you can't move forward from this situation and learn and grow from it. And realize, like, clearly, I guess, actually, Amanda's feelings did come rushing in. Because you cannot acknowledge that over the summer, you were having an intimate type relationship, feelings-wise and sharing-wise with Wes that was inappropriate because you were married?
Well, let's get into their emotional connection. Also, side note, my neighbor across the way, I can see their TV. They are watching Summer House currently.
You know what? Hell yeah.
What
I
are
hope
the
they're
chances?
enjoying it.
Me and her are usually, I'm assuming it's a her, but me and her are usually watching the same shows at the same time.
Incredible.
We used to really line up Euphoria together. It used to really work out. Anyway, so Lindsay's the one that's like, okay, maybe you weren't hooking up, but what about an emotional connection? And Wes says, there probably was one. They were getting really close. And Lindsay and Mia are like, okay, thank someone finally.
Was huge. I appreciate him acknowledging that. Like, if they would have come in and done this the entire reunion to be like, now looking back, I see how I was making decisions without realizing I was catching feelings for Amanda, and then it became a slippery slope, and here we are today. Respect it, because it's true.
Add in and we're so sorry about what happened. Like, we knew that this would fuck everything up. And we chose it, and this is how we're standing by, and we're going to have to deal with it.
Because there's like a red, yellow, green zone of getting out of this scandal. They're in the red the entire reunion. They don't ever get out of it, in my opinion. But they could have been in the yellow zone if they'd done all that.
They went from like bright red to just like a little less bright here, and then they went back.
They went back. I think Wes, if he would have continued this type of energy, though, they could have sat in the yellow zone.
I'm sure.
If they had done this all reunion. The only way to be in the green zone is to not be together. And that is something that they don't realize. Is your 100%. I'm sorry's don't matter without change. And you're not changing the dynamics, so you're not sorry about it.
Or, honestly, they could move in the green for me if they said, I'm sorry, and here we are being the villains. Just own it. But they have to be like, no, yeah, we did that, but like, it's not our fault. That's what it feels like.
You don't understand.
Like, you wouldn't get it. And it's like, we're not teenagers. And you're like yelling at your parents.
You can't be mad at me because like I didn't fuck him until after I put a statement out about how I'm obsessed with
honestly, I love a good TV villain. Come out and be like, yeah, we're together. And honestly, sorry it hurts you. But this is it.
This means so much to me. And here's how I fell in love with her and how much it matters to me. Sure. And I was willing to risk it all because it matters so much to me. And I'm going to stand by it. I'd be like, you know what? Answer all the
questions. I love celebrities who, even if they're offensive, they just answer the question. They're like, I'm just not going to do it. Lindsay and Mia ask, like, is this, like when you were having this emotional affair, was it romantic? Like, for example, when Amanda yelled at Wes about the girl on his lap and making out by Ciara, Amanda seemed really mad, and looking back, like, it seemed like she was, like, mad for herself. Not Ciara, which Amanda, of course, is like, in the moment, that's not what everyone saw. And Kyle's like, actually, I thought it was kind of weird in the moment.
Yeah, that was weird. Amanda cannot acknowledge any feelings prior to when they rushed in that one dinner.
She's not
It pisses me off because clearly there was something in you that it got to you. It got to you that Wes kissed somebody else, whether it was for Ciara, whether it was for yourself, or whether it was both. I do believe it was both. I don't think she was fully into Wes that this would have grated her that hard.
I think it's because she wasn't kissing Kyle, so she was probably like, if I don't have sexual relations, no one can in this house.
Well, she did kiss him once at Spin the Bottle, so maybe it's because she had to kiss Kyle.
No tongue, yeah. But Lindsay does say, you yelling at Wes was under the guise that Ciara was your best friend. So Kyle says he has one timeline question. So he says they've lied before, but he will believe them. And now we're going to talk about two of my favorite Barstool employees. Brianna Chicken Fry told my nemesis, Dave Portnoy, at the Super Bowl that Amanda and Wes were an item. And Amanda mumbles, because there's a lot of mumbling. Amanda says, this stupid fucking thing. And there's only...
It's like we came up with a scandal and tagged her with it, and none of it's true. And it's just the rumor mill.
Also, girl, call Brianna Chicken Fry if you're pissed.
They actively hang out with her. So, like, why are you mad at us for bringing it up?
So there's only 2 weeks between the divorce statement and the Super Bowl. So if one of Wes's friends thought in 2 weeks that they were already an item, what's happening there?
Something had to be happening.
What's happening there? And as a side note, Kyle received a DM from someone who wants to remain anonymous that this is going back since 2025. And Amanda says it's not true. And Kyle says he just wants to know about a physical relationship during 2025. And Amanda and Wes both say no. Amanda swears on her dogs.
I don't trust you.
Please don't take her dogs, though. I know she lied, but...
You swearing and promising things doesn't mean anything because they have yet to be fully honest. They are actively still lying.
Also, Johnny Fairplay on Survivor sweared on, like, his grandma, okay? Yeah. And his
swearing
grandma
on dogs especially doesn't really do anything for me.
Not for us, because we don't have pets.
No.
So I'd be like...
Okay.
Okay, that's like me swearing on my couch, okay? Like, I got it.
I'll swear
Actually,
on
my couch
too.
is very important to me. Anyway.
But I can get a new fucking couch. Like, yeah, I'll lie to give whatever I want.
So Lindsay says to Kyle, an emotional affair is like way worse. And Kyle's like, yeah, but we can't prove that. That's like subjective. And I was like, so true.
I agree, because it would require Amanda and Wes to fully analyze all of their behavior and take ownership of it. And it is not worth the semantics of it when we could actually get some real details about when the needle really started to move here in 2026.
Also, not to do this, because there's like a chunk of white men on the internet that I like hate so much, and Dave Portnoy is one of them. But he made a TikTok that I happened to stumble upon, and he basically was like, they said my name, so I'm going to talk about it. And Dave Portnoy and I are rarely on the same side of things, but he ate up Amanda and Wes. He ate them to the nines.
What did he say?
And then ended with it, because you know my favorite thing. I think it's disgusting and crazy is when Amanda spit in Wes's mouth. He goes, so they talk about me or whatever. He like goes on his whole rant, and then in like the last second, he's like, and now they're in Rome hawking loogies into each other's mouths.
Jesus. I don't like Dave Portnoy either. However, I don't think he just inserts himself into shit just to do it.
He's 1,000 years old. He doesn't know these two people. It's Brianna Chicken Fry.
The scandal was going down, and he said what he heard from a reliable source to him. So, like, I believe it. And that source was a reliable person in Wes' life. Mm-hmm. I don't think, like, this isn't coming off a Reddit page, you know? Like, this is someone willing to put their face and name to the story, and Brianna has backed it up.
Yeah, but Dave Portnoy eats up the two of them, and pretty much like what we have said when I kind of have like my meltdowns and I go in about these two loser idiots. But yeah, he's very concise with his insults. You got to give him that.
Well, the one thing he knows is like public consumption of a story is if you are going to lie about it, you better make sure that the details aren't going to come out and there isn't going to be evidence to like go against your story.
As you said, and I think he said in his TikTok, he's like, why would I make this up? This is what I heard.
Him. Yeah.
He's like a dad who's getting information. Like, your dad's not going to make this up out of nowhere.
He has a little bit more of a vested interest because, like, obviously as a media company to stir shit up and
two.
talk, but not to lie for no reason about two stars that have nothing to do with him.
Yeah, he wouldn't be like, you know what's funny? Let's hop on the bandwagon. He would hear it and be like, guess what I heard, everyone?
And Brianna is like a favorite employee of his that he wouldn't blow up her spot and her friendships for shits and gigs.
I don't know about that.
I don't think he would. He protects her so much.
We'll see. Never trust him. But eat it up, Dave Portnoy. I did save the TikTok. Maybe we'll play it later and get copyrighted or something. I don't know. Okay, so Mia has a question. Did Amanda and Wes come forward because of the speculation, or were they going to continue to lie to everyone? And Amanda says, honestly, they came forward because of the speculation. Because Amanda was still trying to figure out their relationship, including the Mija situation. And Mia's like, okay, so it had like nothing to do with Ciara. It had to do with Wes being exclusive to you. And Amanda says she knows she fucked up and she didn't handle it right. And in the moment, that was all she knew how to do. And she, again, to which I say, again, is sorry for lying to Ciara, which I don't know when she's apologized before, but I think this is the first we're saying.
But also, I don't think she's sorry because you just laid out what drove you to go public. And it's that the rumors were so massive and you were still holding tight onto it because of your embarrassment. You only care about your embarrassment and public image. You didn't care if or when Ciara found out if she would be hurt. Because if you did care about that, you would have navigated it very differently.
I'm gonna not play devil's advocate, but tell you, Amanda didn't apologize for hurting Ciara. She apologized for lying to Ciara, which I believe she probably is sorry for. Sorry I lied to you, but that's an easy thing to apologize for. It's harder.
Absolutely.
It's harder to apologize to be sorry, like, that you hurt someone.
What I'm saying is, like, the coming out with it had nothing to do with Ciara and needing to be honest with Ciara. The reason they wanted to withhold it again is because Amanda would have been embarrassed because everybody knew Wes was seeing Miha.
100%. But Amanda's not apologizing for any of that. She's saying...
No, and, like, that's a separate thing.
That's
I don't think she's apologetic at all.
Okay, so were there other girls Wes was hanging out with? Did Miha know that they weren't exclusive? So Wes gives us a word salad about how he wasn't clear, but he did tell Miha that their relationship wasn't exclusive in November, December. And may I just say, this is the start of the most painful episode, because everyone on the couch is A, either so uncomfortable, or B, crying. Or cringing. Like, the amount of people who are like, ooh, this is just bad.
And it's weird to watch the entire cast, like, have reactions on their face and in their emotions, and Wes and Amanda be so just deadpan.
They weren't on just like, one beta blocker.
Exclusive. Like,
they were on antidepressants or some shit.
Whatever that drug is, whatever that dosage is, please release it, because I don't ever want to be on it.
So Ciara's like, Wes is lying because he sent Miha flowers on Valentine's Day. Which that's a big yikes. Like, that's a big yikes. And Wes says he has not been clear with a zillion women he's dated. And everyone again on the couch is just like, ooh.
It's embarrassing, because also, Amanda, what makes you different? He has not been clear with, like, anybody. He has fucked around, and you know what? Go off. Like, I can't even. But, like, Amanda, how do you sit next to that and go, yeah, sign me up? Like, he's being honest to me now.
So Kyle and Ciara are basically like, that's your MO. And Kyle's like, this is concerning because I care about Amanda. And Kyle says, you were exclusive with Miha. And Wes says, no, she thought we were. Which, the way my blood boiled... What do you mean? That does
something also like that? Oh, she thought you were, but you didn't think you were? Oh, no worries then. Let's just scratch this convo.
What do you mean? She thought you were exclusive.
Why did she think that?
We should have paused. Timeout, freeze. What are you talking about? Are you that is the craziest shit. Oh,
because
yeah.
That's diabolical. If you know that she knows... Or if you know that she thinks you guys are exclusive and you're not trying to correct it?
Yeah, that person thought we were friends because I told them we were friends, but actually, we're not friends.
This is the follow-up I wanted the most, is why did she think that you guys were exclusive, Wes?
Hello? That's crazy. And then Ciara's like, yeah, because you were telling her that. And Lindsay's like, West is a pathy, which is awesome. And Bailey's jaw dropped. Somehow... This is up there with being dumped at Sweetgreen, I would say.
Well, and yeah, I mean, this is kind of insane. The things he's saying are insane.
And Kyle's like, earlier you said you weren't exclusive, and now you're saying that she probably thought you guys were exclusive. And Lindsay's like, he can't even keep up with his lies. And Mia's sitting here going, what's the truth? And Andy's like, how do you guys all know this? And Ciara's like, I have a timeline, actually, which release whatever timeline that is. And Kyle and Ciara say that they've chatted with Miha.
Which that is groundbreaking news to West, because this is the first time the tide changes in how he talks about this.
Because then he says he was secretly dating Miha.
Interesting, because 5 seconds ago, you guys weren't dating exclusive.
Her. You weren't exclusive. He's secretly dating her. She thought they were exclusive, but West was seeing a lot of women in that 14th month. In those 14th month. 14 months, my God.
I mean...
Hello? I'm like gobsmacked. First of all, who has the time? Second of all, what does Miha think you're doing, you dummy?
And also, it's just so funny how we got 3 different levels of him, like, trying to tell these lies, and then he gets clocked, and they're like, no, we're in direct contact with her, and he's like, all right, I'll be honest now. Like, now you're going to be honest? What's the point of all these lies?
At least just stick by your lie. At that point, you're already so deep. Just be like, she's crazy or some shit. That would have been less painful somehow.
it makes him look so much worse because you are a shady ass person and you do bad things and you treat your friends poorly and you are a massive liar.
And Amanda said, "That's my man.
That's my man."
That's
but
my
he doesn't
man.
do any of that to me, I promise.
So Ciara says to West, "You were saying I love you to this woman."
That's crazy.
And because West is such a loser, he can't even look Ciara in the eye. And Ciara's like, "It's because I know you're lying." And all the faces on the couch, if any of these people had an inkling of respect for West, it's gone now. It fled.
Because this is embarrassing.
Even Andy is like, oh, you know what I mean?
I would love to know from the start of this Miha, like, RB exclusive to the end here, how long did they actually discuss this? Because the way he tried to, like, bob and weave through the RB exclusive, dating, whatever, just to end up as, you guys were exclusive, you were cheating on her the whole time, and you were saying I love you, is crazy.
We should have stuck on that secret part more to hear about firsthand what a shit he is. To be like,
why did you make her be a secret? Let's dive into that.
Let's talk about how you lied to her and said that you'd be kicked off the show if you had a girlfriend, which 100% isn't true. And then you said we're going to secretly date, and somehow you manipulated her to think that that was okay.
Yeah.
Which is so... Can we also talk about, like, the residual damage that this has to do to not only Ciara, but Miha? Like, the mind fuck that now if I was Miha, every other guy I dated, I would be so, like, please turn on your location and let me stalk you because I can't trust
absolutely.
you. Like, he is hurting everyone in so many different ways. It's, like, incredible how he's not in jail. Like, truly.
And then he blames them. Because, like, we've seen him resent Ciara. And then, like, I have to flash forward to that. We're getting that aftermath thing. And we saw in the teaser for it that he texts Miha after this reunion and says, you win.
You win.
I mean, way to take ownership of your own actions, because Miha did absolutely nothing here.
You're actually a psycho. The amount of therapy these people need because they let you into their lives is insanity. And I don't want to, like, blame other people, but, like, who the fuck raised you, honestly? And, like,
genuinely.
Also, not to, like, put the blame, but you don't have real friends, because if you are no, you're not my friend anymore, okay?
That's what I want to know is, like, the lasting effects with, like, people not on this show is, like, if I saw this happen with, like, a friend of mine who was on a show, I would be like, I can't trust you.
That's crazy. You think I'm gonna go get a beer with you? You're out of your damn mind. And two, if I was your fucking parents or siblings, this is so ridiculous. You weren't raised this way. This is crazy. The amount of hurt you cause just from existing with people and you still don't care or get it. How did they even go to this Italy wedding? I would have been like, no.
I know.
If I was a parent, don't bring Amanda, dude.
No, because, like, you're not going to involve
ready.
Your family's wedding in this diabolical story. Like, to take over a wedding in this narrative, oh my God, no.
Also, his parents said to him, like, you're going to get backlash for the Ciara thing. What did they say about this Amanda thing? Because this is 10 times worse.
I know. That's more stuff I want to know.
This is crazy talk.
Because West's parents have met Ciara. They've met Kyle. They've met Miha. Her dad met Miha. Like, West mentions it later.
Hello? And, like, I get your parents are going to love you no matter what. That's just how, like, parents operate. That's great. But, like, let's hold him accountable and tell him to stop hurting people, because for me it'd be embarrassing if my son was going around hurting everyone. And let me tell you, one of the biggest things I think about when I'm like, should I have a kid? I do think about what if they, like, became a serial killer and I raised that. This is somehow like a serial killer status.
It's on a public scale too.
This is what you're putting into the world. Are you proud of it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
It's tough.
Okay. So that was meltdown number 1 for me. There will be more. Okay, so Andy asks Amanda if hearing all this from West gives her any pause.
Great question. Amanda? Anything.
Hey, a little unsolicited advice, run for the hills. Whatever hills you see, go that way.
Because we just saw, again, him bobbing and weaving through those lies. That alone, whether he told you the truth or not, that is scary to watch someone do in front of your eyes.
Also, in a previous reunion, didn't she say she didn't know the extent of the Miha shit?
This is this one. She says that, like, she is learning new things tonight.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So Ciara chimes in really quick and says, Wes was saying, I love you. He flew Miha out to Montana for a game to meet his dad in January. Okay.
Wes is like, that was January 3rd. That has nothing to do with this. And it's like, yes, it does. Like,
bro,
you don't see Miha as a person that you have hurt. And how in January you were flying her to meet your parents. That means something to people. We've already gone through this.
May we also just say, I'm assuming Miha is a woman of color?
I think she is, yeah. See how you keep your girlfriends of color private and secret?
I don't know. It's weird. Meredith, it's like there's a pattern with this white man.
No way. Because, like, he's not a bad person and he's sorry.
Oh, my God. Okay, so Amanda says she had some of this information, but not all of it. To which I went, Jesus, girl. It couldn't be more embarrassing. It like, physically cannot, unless he, like, punched you in the face at this point.
And it's like, what information? Because if it's like, you didn't know that they were boyfriend-girlfriend exclusive and that he was saying, I love you, or, like, you didn't know that he sent flowers on Valentine's Day.
Amanda thought Miha was his cousin. He was just texting his cousin all day.
Like, oh my God.
Amanda?
Run for the hills, girl.
So they're like, hey, does it worry you that he was sending Valentine's Day flowers to this girl? And Amanda says nothing was going on with them on Valentine's Day. But then Bailey and Mia on the couch are like, what about the Super Bowl happening like early February?
And this is why getting the timeline matters. Again, it doesn't have to be the exact first date of the, like, first dinner that they said that they like each other. But, like, let's get some dates rolling out there in a timeline. Because, like, when we cross-examine you and you say you don't care about Valentine's Day, well, if you said that that first dinner was on February 3rd, clearly you should give a shit.
Yeah, and Bailey is with me. She's like, I feel like the Super Bowl is the only accurate piece of information we kind of have.
Yeah.
And I agree. Okay, so Jesse and Ben have both met Miha. There's photo evidence. And Wes wants to say girlfriend isn't the term he would use to, like, describe Miha. And Andy looks at him and is like, well, she thought it was. And Ciara and Mia are both like, if Miha says she's your girlfriend, like, you must have a loophole to get out of this because, like, it sounds like y'all were exclusive. And Wes confirms that Miha did think that they were in an exclusive relationship. Which, again, what do you mean?
I like the way he thinks that he can explain his way or use a thesaurus to use a different word to get out of this is wild. The impact is still there. She thought you guys were in a relationship. Let's say she even was open to you guys having kind of like an open flings or like you can sleep with people as long as it doesn't matter. That clearly does not line up with what your thing is with Amanda.
Yeah, no, this is the craziest shit I've ever heard. Wes probably proposed to her and he's like, I don't know where she got the idea that we were exclusive.
Getting married.
Yeah,
like,
what the
what?
fuck? But Bailey and Carl are both like, an exclusive relationship, that's your girlfriend.
Yeah.
So
like,
if she thought
the semantics of it all.
If she thought you were in an exclusive relationship, she thought she was your girlfriend.
That's not a wild assumption to make.
It's literally the same.
Like, even if you guys didn't use that title, even if, like, you didn't call her your girlfriend, you were acting like she is crazy for thinking she's your girlfriend. Like, she thought that. Stage 5 flinger.
I looked at her and said, I'm so happy you're my girlfriend. And she thought I was serious. She took me at my word. That's crazy. Okay. So Jesse says he met her in Montana in October. And he met her in October, not in Montana. Montana was January. But
they went to Montana. They went to Montana for a game.
So twice they went to Montana?
Yeah. Miha went to Montana twice. That was brought up in this reunion.
Okay.
In October 11th, Jesse, Ben, and Wes go to Montana for a football game at West alma mater. And Miha was flown out too. So they're all hanging out. So Jesse said that Miha wasn't told to Jesse and Ben that this is my girlfriend, but clearly like there was something happening between them.
Well, he thought like Miha knew that they weren't exclusive.
Yeah.
But he says the January was the dad. Okay.
Is a different event, yes, yeah. But also happened. So he flies her out to Montana twice.
Okay, but Jesse, he says he thought Miha understood they were exclusive, but now it feels like Wes told her this was just for show. Or for a show. And then Jesse speaks to Wes and he says Wes is not the person, or he says he is not the person that needs sympathy, and he feels for Ciara and Kyle, but it hurts and he feels lied to, and he's upset that this friend group is broken, and today has proved that Jesse would have never expected this out of Wes. And Wes says, I apologize, Jesse.
Like, that is the least heartfelt apology, because I appreciate Jesse not, like, centering himself in the hurt, in the sympathy, because there are bigger, injured parties here. But, Jesse, you deserve, like, some sorrow, and, like, that sucks. Your friend lied to you and gaslit you.
Well, not only that, what we were talking about, if this was my friend, I'd be so hurt that someone I trusted and I allowed in my life is capable of this.
Not just capable, did this to me, lied to me, straight to my face.
Crazy. I'm hurt about that.
I get why Jesse is sobbing. Yeah, like, this 100%. Is a lot. There are a lot of interactions that Jesse is probably running through his head in the fall of the experiences he's had, the experiences he's had in this winter, being lied to in March especially. Like, that's a lot of compounding things you have to, like, run back through.
Yeah. And Ciara says all this to go to the West Village bars.
It's so much work. Like, this is not worth it. If you really just wanted to fuck Amanda, just stand up, say, I like her, and move on with it, and lose your friends for a little bit, over the, like, backlash. But you could gain those friends back, after just sleeping with Amanda. You didn't have to do all this.
This is a murder. So at the après-ski party, Wes told Ben he wasn't looking to be anyone's boyfriend. And so Andy says, since Amanda and Wes have expressed feelings for each other, have they been monogamous? And Wes says, no. Basically, he says, like, not since the feelings. Oh my, Jesse and Carl. These two men are a mess. And that moment, it zooms in on their faces, and they are, like, cringing, crying, all at the same time. It is like they cannot believe.
They're shocked though, because we literally are just walking through about how he hasn't been monogamous to Miha, he's been with for 14 months, and we know Miha was in New York with West on March 24th. So, like, of course he hasn't been monogamous to Amanda.
I think it's the blatantness at which Wes is like, no, haven't.
He knows he can't. He's already been caught about the Miha stuff, so he can't really lie about this.
I know. I really do think just sitting there, the tension is so high, and just hearing it, you got to be like, oh my God, this is like the worst.
Amanda doesn't react.
Amanda doesn't care.
This is so embarrassing.
She doesn't care. Well, Ciara's like, the internet would have had a frenzy. That's why, like, you had to keep hooking up with other girls. And Wes says, since the statement, he has been monogamous, and that causes Kyle to start crying, because I think Kyle really wants Wes to, like, fuck this up so that he'll leave Amanda, but
it's just also funny because it's like, well, yeah, I mean, who's gonna fuck you now? I mean, one day there will be a girl that he sleeps with again. Like, come on, there's desperate people. Amanda exists out there. Yeah. So he's gonna find someone else, but right now the scandal's too big. Like, whatever girl gets attached to him is going to get so much blowback that they don't want it right now. They want this to die down before they fuck him.
So Andy's like, there's a lot of pressure to make this work. People are saying you might as well just, like, get married at this point. And Wes says he does feel pressure to make it work, but he doesn't think that's why it should work. But in the moment, that's how it does feel. And Andy's like, seems dangerous that someone with such big commitment issues would be in, like, such a pressure cooker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Kyle is like, I can't believe Kyle loses it. Kyle's like, I can't believe we're in this position. Like, you're one of my best friends. And he's like, this is the most eye-opening thing, is like, what's happening behind closed doors. And Kyle says he still cares about Amanda. He acknowledges it wasn't a good marriage when they ended it. But Wes knew all that, and Amanda was in a vulnerable spot and decided to pursue these feelings. And Wes has essentially isolated Amanda, which 100%. I was like, damn.
I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even think about it.
I mean, like, it did make me feel a little bit bad for her that she has no one to, like, bounce things off outside of her one friend, Katie DeLuca.
Katie DeLuca.
Like, that is a really tough place to be in when the entire friend group hates her. You know, one of her closest friends and her ex-husband probably hate her right now. And then the world, you know, like, the internet stuff is a lot. But, like, that is really hard to deal with alone.
Yeah, because, essentially, he isolated her from her job that she's had for 9 years. He's isolated her from not only her best friend, Ciara, but pretty sure Paige and Hannah have taken a stand. Not that Hannah was her friend, but you know what I mean. Paige has taken the stand. Lindsay, who she was becoming close to, already gone. And Amanda's not known for having a lot of friends. So these were like the best that could have happened. And essentially, Amanda only has Wes's friends that now they're calling mutual friends. But in the event that something happens, I think we know who wins them.
Yeah. And the thing is like, he isolated her first with that secret, because even though she was still in contact with all these people in this group, she couldn't really be herself or talk about what she was going through.
She had to hide
that. Yeah. And then, like, once this does come out, they don't want to associate with you. They are pissed
100%.
at you.
100%. She's completely alone in this, whereas Wes isn't.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Kyle just wants to know, what's the plan? Hello? What's the plan?
Good question, because if we're not going to get anything in the past, let's talk about the future.
No, that's a great question, because what's the plan for their relationship? What's the plan for their careers?
Mm-hmm.
What's the plan? And I know at this point they didn't know, like, who was going to get signed to the next season of Summer House, but, like, even if you do come back, those first few months, you're going to be so hated.
But that's the thing. That's a plan of action. Even if it's selfish for your career, I respect it. We're in a committed relationship. We care about each other. We're going to continue pursuing this. We understand it ruffles feathers. However, this is something important to us. We clearly blew up our life. We're moving forward with it. And if I get asked back to this show or have this stuff, I'm going to pursue that, and I want to make amends for this friend group for multiple reasons. This is clearly our career, but also these relationships, friendships mean a lot to me. That's a plan of action.
There's no plan.
Even though it's vague, that shows initiative of what you see for your life in the next 2, 3, 6 months.
Sure. Well, Wes says their conversations were weighing how much this could fuck up friendships, to which I said, tell me more about these conversations.
But also, that's not a plan. That's, again, now we're going backwards, because you aren't willing to say that you
don't have a plan.
Aren't really committed to each other.
Wes wishes he could have talked to Kyle. Kyle's like, isn't it crazy? You were in my marital business. Like, I was texting you in February about my lack of a sex life with Amanda, and you were out on a dinner date with her. Isn't that crazy?
Also, wish you could have talked to Kyle. You guys weren't stranded on an island thinking you're going to die, so then you're like, let's just get together and fall in love. We have no way of communicating with people. You could have talked to all of these people at any point in time. You chose not to.
100%.
But you're acting like you're the victim in this, that you couldn't have talked to everybody.
It was a secret.
So tough.
It was a secret.
What?
We decided to keep and not tell anyone about it, but I wish we could have.
But it's just, like, so sad I couldn't talk to you about it, because I chose not to.
Like, it's crazy. Kyle says he feels like a fool. Wes, his response is, the dinner date wasn't romantic. And Jesse goes, then why wasn't I invited? And they're like, it looks bad.
Just also, bend the knee and say we wanted to spend time alone together. We hadn't expressed feelings yet, but we clearly were moving actions to become closer. Like, how can you not just say that?
That's your response when someone goes, I feel like a fool. And you go, well, I was having dinner with your ex-girlfriend or your ex-wife who you were texting me about, but it wasn't romantic.
Because it could also, like, not be romantic, and even in a friendship way. You're like, clearly you want to get closer. I cut people out of, like, dinners because, like, I want to get closer to a friend. You were cutting people out so you can have these, like, intimate conversations.
And isn't it crazy? You couldn't talk to Kyle, but you were literally texting him.
I just want to know, like, this is the question I wanted Kyle to follow up with is, were you two talking about what I was texting you about?
Yeah.
They were giggling about Kyle texting about their sex life. They absolutely were.
Yeah. I think wholeheartedly, honestly, text and or Instagram messages, DMs, comments, they knew about it with each other. If it had to do with this
They're
cast,
laying in bed, pillow talking about Amanda's husband. It's 100%. Weird.
So yeah, Wes understands why he looks like the worst person to risk this for. And Lindsay's like, is there anything you could say to make us like feel better about this?
Yeah. Yeah.
And Wes kind of like word salads a little, and Ciara's like, isn't it crazy you haven't even said that she's worth it?
I mean,
Amanda, are we not embarrassed? Hello? Like, hello?
What?
This is crazy. I am in crazy times, because what do you mean in the year 2026, in Pride Month, I have to watch a fucking white woman that I hate be disrespected by a white man that I hate even more? And when asked straight up, why is this worth it? He doesn't think to say she's worth it.
I care about her so deeply. She means so much to me. There's a lot you could say.
He says, you know what he ultimately says? She should be concerned. That's ultimately what he says. He's like, I'm the worst person.
This is what bothers me. It's like, Amanda, how dare you make me feel embarrassed for you when you have literally active role in your life. You can stand up. This is a kiddie pool. You aren't drowning. Stand up.
You could leave. You have Katie DeLuca, okay? She'll help.
I'm sure Lindsay will be your friend if you walk out of this relationship. Like she'll hold your hand while you're doing it. What is going on? This is so embarrassing. Like, this is worse than I ever thought it could be.
That's why I was texting you when I was like, it's literally like watching the same murder happen over and over and over and over again.
Because this is Amanda.
She's
nothing. Just staring at the ground, zoned out.
This is us watching West murder Amanda. Oh, like, no one else even has to do anything. Amanda should be most hurt by West.
Because, this is all right, crazy. Whatever. This is a show, and these are, like, your show friends. You have to go and leave this. Other people are going to watch this. And, like, you have to look your parents in the face and say, that's my man. It's like, you have no shame.
Would you rather us hate you, or would you rather us think you're just super pathetic and not even worth the hate?
I would rather be hated.
Because, like, yeah, it's like, at this point, I'm like, everyone stop hating Amanda. Her life sucks enough.
I'm like, pack it up. I can't watch this anymore. Like, put this girl out of her misery.
Wes is hurting her more than anyone else ever can, you know?
I mean, Amanda's doing it to herself, too. Like, stand up. You have all the privileges in the world. Like, this isn't like an abusive relationship by any means where you're like in this loop. This is a maximum, in my opinion, 4-month flirtationship love affair thing. Like, come on. I understand situationships are hard to break up and like we pine over them after the fact, but like you will move on. This man's dick is not that good. There's no way.
His small little flaccid dick that we saw in the photos. Anyway, Wes says their conversations were about how this needs to be something serious if they're going to risk their fucking lives for it. But Wes says he hears Kyle. This got out of his control and he regrets not speaking to Kyle before it happened. And Andy goes, it was in your control the whole time.
Yeah.
And Andy's like, you had to have known what was going to happen. And
like, Kyle, this was so obvious that this was going to be the reaction.
We all had it. We all could have told you exactly what would have happened.
And if you had everybody thought that it was an April Fool's joke.
No, truly, if you had said, what if Amanda and Wes got together? I can tell you exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
And I'm not wrong. This is
the only thing I wouldn't have predicted is like even Ben being so upset. You know, like it's the amount of lying that like affected the rest of this group. But I could have predicted the core of this group, minus the newbies, like the people from the previous seasons, being pissed off.
No, truly. Okay, let's get into the Instagram of it all, because Kyle brings up that they were posting about their affair the whole time.
They were.
Amanda says she's obviously like not receptive to the Instagram comments. Mia's like, did you think you like weren't bragging about this? And Ciara's like, what about that "this is how much I care" picture? And Amanda says that had nothing to do with anything. And Kyle's like, what did it have to do with? I even texted you when I saw that.
I just like if you're gonna tell me that it had nothing to do with that, because I do believe in some coincidences. Are every single one of these about Wes? Probably not. I'm sure there's some other things. But you would tell me what it's about then. What did you care this much about?
Yeah. Yeah. Say it.
Say it.
Say it.
Explain yourself. We're sitting, we're ready, we're willing, we're able.
Amanda says it's so easy to read into everything. And Ciara's like, please, girls post so consciously and subconsciously, even down to the song. Amanda talks about how she only picks trending songs.
Which, girl, Heated Rivalry was airing during this time. People were obsessed with it. That was the soundtrack that was on every single thing. These songs were not that trending at this time. And I do not believe that you are so tapped into trending music, too.
Yeah, and they're like, it was like a 20 carousel thing of like West. Like, we saw it. And Amanda says, fine, it was a very dumb mistake, but it's not related. And Mia and Lindsay are like, oh my God, fucking shoot this bitch out of her misery at this point.
Girl, you're a millennial. We care a whole fuck lot on Instagram.
We invented the subtweet.
Yes.
Everything I do is with intention. Even when I'm not trying to like get a secret message out there, I'm thinking these things through.
How people are going to interpret it and what people will think about it. Like, it matters. Come on, don't insult me.
I'm not even famous. What are you talking about?
I do it for my 500 followers.
My
Come
70
on,
friends. I need my mom to know. You know what I'm talking about?
For our generation now, it's like a scrapbook to look back on.
Yes.
You wanted to feel how giddy you felt about West during this time again when you look back at this shit. Mm-hmm. Maybe it wasn't for, Ciara and Kyle to pick up the tidbits, but you wanted to feel something later.
So Lindsay asks about the invisible ink picture. Because there's an invisible ink picture.
This conversation cracks me up. Because again, I'm like, I'm not a fucking idiot.
Amanda says she has friends who use invisible ink. And they're the whole other couch, like Ciara, Lindsay, Mia, they're all like, oh, well, that's like a common thing West does that we all know. Also, can I just say, invisible ink, not that common.
I only use it in one group text, and it's about TV shows because we all watch it at different times. And we timestamp it, and, that's the only way. I do not use it in a one-to-one text.
No, and when people do, I get really fucking annoyed, because I'm it's just me, why are you hiding it from me? I actually don't really understand the point of the invisible ink, because if I'm texting it to you, you have the ability to see it and show whoever,
I wish there was a temporary one where you could send it just for the first open, so you could have you could say something, have the shock factor, and then it goes away. Because that's the only reason it's fun in a one-to-one. But it is more annoying. I cannot believe Wes uses this so frequently.
He's known for doing this.
The entire cast is this is a West thing.
This is what he does.
And then Amanda is like, this is a feature on the iPhone? And I'm like, yeah, no, bitch, we do all know that this feature exists. That doesn't exonerate you, because you've never given another person's name of who that text chain was. All you keep saying is we all have access to this. This is on the iPhone. So who was it? If that wasn't West, who was it?
Who was it?
Say someone.
Name them. Name them.
Genuinely, if you think that we are all reading into this, then say the intent, say the name, but you never can. You can't come up with anything because it's a lie.
What were you hiding?
Yeah, show the text.
What was the text? Yeah.
Undo them, screenshot it again. Let's see it. Run it back.
So, Amanda, do you think you and Ciara became real friends, or was it more of a show friendship? And Amanda says there was a real friendship there. It wasn't just a show friendship. That would be insensitive and insane. And I was like, she's literally talking out loud, being like, it would be crazy to say Ciara wasn't my real friend.
I'm like, what? Also, she paused during this. And it's like, did you really have to think about that? Mm-hmm. Because I genuinely, personally, on Meredith's side of the fence, I think they're show friends. On Amanda's side, I think Ciara cared a whole fuck ton, because I think Ciara is a really giving person and would never be able to classify these people as her, show friends or real friends. I think she's friends with people. But I think Amanda only invested in Ciara to a certain extent.
Okay, yes, I see that. I also think Amanda, though, from what we've learned, even before this, and just how Amanda, treats the relationships in the off-season of Summer House, yeah, I don't think she, naturally has a lot of friends, just, in general. So I don't think she knows how to keep up with friendships and,
Agreed.
Be a friend in a way. Even
like,
in its like simplest terms.
Friendships out of convenience and other people to make the plans and get her with those people. And I think she will share things with them, and it matters to her in the moment, but she is not someone who is like thinking about it or like wants to like put time and effort into it. It's like when somebody's in front of her, they're in front of her. And it's like, those are nice relationships to have, like where you just don't really have to care. Sure. And other people do the legwork of maintaining what goes into an adult friendship. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's like being in college and like your best friend is the person who lives in the dorm next door.
It's your roommate. Yeah. And you're like, yeah, great.
Of course we're close.
Okay. So Amanda asks how it felt watching the scenes of Ciara being a supportive friend to her. And Amanda says she didn't watch the show. And when I tell you Carl has never been more a mess, hearing that, he was like, are you kidding me? But Amanda has watched past seasons. And Jesse, cool. Like, great. I would hope. I say that. What? It pisses me off if you come to a reunion and you do not watch the season. I have said it before. I will say it again. This is one of my number one pet peeves of these people.
Because how can you discuss it? You don't see a lot of the scenes that other people are going through that like we want your opinion and take on. And like there's a lot of context missing because you only get to film it through your POV.
Yeah. Oh, I hate it. And Jesse says it was a really hard watch. And Kyle says it's a cop-out to not watch the seasons because then you don't have to answer to anything because you don't know. You don't know what was included. You don't know how it was edited. You don't know what people said in confessionals.
You don't even remember what you said. Like, that is really hard to remember what you said, but you still need to answer for it.
Yeah, Amanda says she'll watch it after the reunion, and everyone's like...
that pissed me off actually way more. It's like, why watch it now?
Everyone's like, it'll be too late then, because the point is to watch it, and then a reunion is so you can discuss it.
Yep.
Isn't it crazy if you don't do your homework for work? Like, this is your work thing.
Why are we showing up to the test without studying?
Also, don't piss me off. You're getting paid to film and watch a show. That is all you have to motherfucking do, okay? I do that in my spare fucking time. I could, come on. Don't disrespect me.
Very good point.
Don't act like it's too hard for you to do.
Yeah. Don't say that to us, the audience. Are you kidding me?
If you don't want to take responsibilities for your actions, don't do those actions. Hello?
It just bothers me because I know she like talks about this in a second that she says she didn't watch it because it became too much and then like knowing what people were going to say online. Bitch, what? Like, why do you get to avoid negative feelings that you caused, that you did? And you're gonna just escape those, but like you did things to Ciara, and you like won't show up and be able to discuss them because like it's too much for you. Actually, oh, Amanda.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Let's talk about how she says she can already pinpoint everything everyone is going to say about her online, and that's been difficult for her. And I go,
hard for her.
Why do you care what people say online, but you don't care how upset Ciara or Kyle is? Because she never says it'll hurt me to watch how I've hurt like this is gonna add hurt to what I've done to Ciara.
It's about the public.
She says I don't want the public to continue hurting me, so I don't even want to know what's out there.
It's so poor me. It is wild.
But she says listen, she's not being a victim.
I get that is like you are a victim of your own circumstances that you chose, your own actions, your own life. Kyle, if Kyle cheated on you and you don't want to watch that, I get that because like you didn't do that. You did all of this. You caused all of this. And you're not willing to sit down and watch it, but the rest of the cast who you did it to is sitting down and watching it.
And you can't have the respect for them to watch it so you can come to this reunion prepared to discuss it. That's ridiculous. It's also like so fucking crazy. She said she's going to watch it after the fucking
I don't believe that. Like she thinks that that'll make it better. She's like, no, I will care in 2 weeks.
That and when she says, I've watched past seasons.
Her and Wes do that all the time where like they won't say the real thing and then they try to say something else that like to be like, see, but like I'm trying. And it's like,
that's actually so funny. I've watched past seasons. What the fuck is that? What is that thing? Yeah.
What?
She might as well just been like, I watched The Real Housewives of Atlanta. okay.
That would actually,
awesome.
That would be better reunion prep.
Congratulations. Yeah. That's actually so funny. I'm like crying.
She like wanted to be pat on the back and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing that.
So yeah, Amanda stopped watching episodes because she can't deal with the mean stuff people say about her. And again, I go, it'd be crazy if you would just maybe feel bad for the things you've done towards other people. Like that.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. So Andy's like, Amanda. He says it in such a way. He goes, Amanda.
He's so fucking over this.
He says, the thing people are upset about is that it's such a friend betrayal. And the scenes that you're not fucking watching are scenes of Ciara giving you the strength to get out of a bad relationship. To which Amanda says, she did a really shitty thing. And Ciara goes, you're still doing a shitty thing.
That.
Which, dare I say, the shittiest thing somehow has turned into, you don't even give me the respect to look back at what you've done, what you gave up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You don't, it goes to show that she does not respect the friendship with
She doesn't
Ciara.
care.
She doesn't actually like feel bad. I don't think she really thinks she's losing anything. She just wants this to be over. So she's like trying to say enough to get people off her back where she's like, it just would be hard to watch Ciara be a fucking good ass friend, champion me, knowing I didn't even think about her once.
I don't even care about her. Yeah.
It was easy. It was easy for me to go on dates with Wes, to tell him my feelings, to sleep with him. The hard part was being honest about it because like I would have to go and embarrass myself. That's what she should have said during this reunion.
And then Andy, it's so crazy. Andy like doesn't know what to do because Andy's like, okay, well, what do you have to say? Because I haven't actually like heard you say anything. And he goes, maybe like address Ciara? Because like, hello? And
we have gotten lost in the shuffle a lot. So,
sure.
like, I get, like, there haven't been a lot of direct questions. And also, like, Amanda has said she feels like she hasn't been able to say her piece. Amanda, here's your time.
Say your piece, maybe talk to Ciara. And Amanda goes, in regards to... Why are we here? What are we doing here? She is unwell. She has to be. There's no other explanation. The medication she's on is not okay. Because what do you mean? In regards to what? In regards?
There's only one topic we're really touching at this reunion, and it kind of pisses me off because there's a lot to discuss. The only thing we've been talking about is the scandal. What do you mean, what topic?
I guess in regards to your swimsuit line, like, what are we talking about? Please address Ciara on your thoughts about Jesse. What are we doing? There's only one reason you at this point need to speak to Ciara.
Obviously, climate change, you know?
In regards.
Like, fill in random blank.
Regards.
This wasn't a multiple choice. There was one choice underneath the blank.
And Andy literally goes, yes, for betraying her.
The betrayal. We were just talking about your friendship.
Wait, I also love that she said in regards to the situation. Yeah, the situation, the friend betrayal, that's what we were calling it, but the situation.
Girl, do you know why you're here? I know you didn't prepare by watching any of the season, but do you know why you're here?
This isn't Jersey Shore. There's no situation. What are you talking about?
I'm like, did you write that statement on 3/31? Because, like, do you know anything that's been going on in the last 2 months?
Girl.
This is the time that I was ready for Amanda to wake up and go, I have been stolen by aliens. I'm so sorry, I'm back, baby. Because what?
No, my bad. I've been asleep this whole time. Like, what?
That would have been better. Honestly,
was she
zoning
out?
If she told me she nodded off and didn't know what we were talking to,
great.
You know what? I'll give you a pass.
In regard, like, I cannot.
I'm still stuck on that. I'm not joking.
I literally sat there and went, what? Like, it was crazy.
It's the way, literally the subtitle said, in regards to ...
And Andy's like, yeah.
And he's
what
like,
I've been talking literally about anything. It could be how you betrayed Ciara. It could be about your relationship with Wes. It could be how sorry you are. Anything. Just, there's only one.
Around this topic.
Since we got back from break, there's only been one topic. We haven't even talked to Bailey, Ben, KJ, or Dara. We don't even know if they're still here. They should be nodding off. What are you talking about in regard? I'm so sorry. Okay. So Amanda says, oh my God. And
when she gets told the topic, when she gets told what she should be talking on.
You think it's the worst when she doesn't know what she should talk about, but it gets worse when she does say...
Start talking.
Amanda says she has no words. And she says this for like a weirdly long amount of time.
She's like,
she word salad.
I just have no words.
Did I already say the word words?
What in regards to scandal, betrayal means?
He said yes about the situation. I'm still figuring out what situation that is. And then she ends up going with, this has been a very confusing and crazy time. I feel like I'm watching our current president try to give a speech. Like, what are you talking about?
I'm like, obviously it's been a confusing and crazy time. Amanda, address Ciara.
Yes, it has been, Amanda. We're at war. What are you talking about? You still haven't acknowledged the situation in regards that we're talking to.
She's still trying to figure out what situation it is. She's like buying herself time here.
She says there has been a lot of feelings she has sorted through. She's developed feelings for someone that she wasn't expecting to. She's lost sleep. She didn't eat.
And that is where she fucking lost me. Oh,
that's where she lost you. I'm still in regards.
No, 100%. But then I was like, okay, she's gonna start saying something, and because again, Andy said, address Ciara about the betrayal, and she goes, I just like haven't been sleeping or eating, and like it's just like been really hard on me.
I've been thinking about what this would do, the situation, if you will,
what it has done to me,
to our friendship. She says she fucked up. She's deeply sorry for betraying Ciara's trust, and it kills Amanda to know that she's caused Ciara this pain. And Ciara goes, no, it doesn't, Amanda.
It literally doesn't. You were talking about your own sleep and your own eating. What do you mean it kills you? You're sad because you don't have an appetite.
You're sad because you haven't ate a burger in like 6 weeks. Eat a burger, get a smile on your face. What are you talking about?
You're sad because ever since you put that statement out, you haven't been able to do an Instagram dump and like breadcrumb us. Like, you miss that.
She has so many cool photos. She's cool.
We know Wes does. That's his biggest
so many cool photos
of this entire scandal is he can't do his little dumpies.
Yeah, his dump. Oh my God, he's very sad about his dumpies.
Like, you guys don't fucking care, and it's so obvious, so don't even pretend to.
So Ciara gets really emotional, and she says Amanda texted Ciara 24 hours before the statement finally came out, to which I paused and wrote down the text. Okay. So on March 16th, 7:06 a.m., Amanda had texted Ciara and said, you look so beautiful last night and did an incredible job on the carpet. Truly proud of you. And Ciara didn't answer because the next text is March 26th, 12:27 p.m. And Amanda says, me again. I'd really like him, which of course it's you. I see your name. That's like when my mom calls and I go, hello, and she goes, it's mom. I know.
When somebody teens messages you and they just go, hey, and it's like, just say your fucking question.
Just say what you want.
Just like, let's get it rolling. Okay. I'm clearly ignoring you.
I'd really like it if we could talk, at least so I can understand how you're feeling. I know you process things differently and need space, but I've been really sad about where things are right now. I'm not sure what the right thing to do is or how to go about this. I want to hear you out and take accountability for everything I did that upset you, even if it wasn't my intention.
Which I'm curious about that because that's before their statement comes out and before they like confirmed their thing. So what did you do to piss Ciara off?
Mm-hmm. And then March 30th, 9:54 a.m., Amanda says, I want to start by saying I'm really sorry. I know I hurt you, and that's the part that matters most to me in all of this.
If that's the part that mattered most, you would stop dating that man.
Also, when we go back to the middle text message, the me again, she never says like, yeah, this is before the statement. So again, the timeline is wonky, but Amanda, first of all, is very like, I'm sad. I don't know what to do.
It's very much her feelings are centered.
But then also, she never is like, she says, I want to hear you out and take accountability for everything I did to upset you. How about I want to take accountability for what I did for dating Wes? Like, be specific. If you're going to take accountability, tell me what you're taking accountability for. You're taking accountability because I'm upset?
she's not out with this relationship. So she'll only take accountability to as much truth as Ciara knows. And that continues in this reunion. Is like, they will only say as much as they know is publicly known.
As they got caught, yeah.
Yes.
So, meanwhile, when all these texts are coming through, Ciara is calling Kyle, like, what the fuck is this? When she's done nothing but be there for Amanda. Lindsay had to come pick Ciara off the bathroom floor so she can go do her job because she couldn't fathom that she'd be sitting here today pissed that Amanda is fucking her ex. And all this, Ciara is crying when she's saying this.
This got me. Like, I feel more sorrow for Ciara than Amanda does. I did nothing wrong to Ciara, and I feel bad, like I have hurt her because, like, I take enjoyment out of this show, or like I participate in some capacity of this, like, group hanging out or something. Like, I was crying. Terrible.
I had tears in my eyes listening to Ciara talk about her betrayal.
And again, this is Amanda. Ready? That's it. Literally staring down.
So Ciara goes on and says, Wes propositioned Amanda, and like it's unfathomable that Amanda said, yeah, let's do this. And at the slightest, if Amanda ever was Ciara's friend, Amanda should have been like, wow, this is a bad idea. Why would I do that to her? And Amanda should have thought he wants revenge against Ciara because he resents her so much. But that never crossed Amanda's mind because he wants to embarrass Ciara and he wants to get the last word. Quote, Ciara, this is his last little word, and I hope it works because he's with you to spite me. Which is that. And then I'm in tears. The couches are in tears. Wes, no emotion. Amanda, less emotion somehow.
It was wild during that to see every person's face. Feel it in their soul how upset they are. And for those two to just sit there so blank-faced. I truly don't get how you operate as a human like that. Like, I'm a pretty emotional person, so, like, I accept that, like, I'll have bigger emotions than other people. I take on other people's emotions really quickly. But you're the cause of this. And these are your supposed friends that you say you care about, even though your actions have not shown that. And you're just sitting there.
The thing is, right, the thing I can't fathom is, like, even if I, like, hated this person that's saying these things to me, right? I would care that, like, I'm being yelled at and I'm being made to look like the bad guy, you know?
Some type of emotion, whether it's for Ciara or not.
It's weird. They don't even care about that.
No, because, like, so I would be crying out of embarrassment or just, like, general overwhelm. Like, I understand they're on beta blockers, and so their, like, heart rate is very low, so they're not, like, going to hyperventilate and be like Emmy at Southern Charm or something.
I would be Emmy at this point.
But, like, Emmy's more valid than these two. Like, Emmy has emotions, even though if they're a little manufactured, but, like, these two are... Like, nothing. Genuinely, I'm like,
it's scary.
What's wrong with you?
It's kind of scary. So Ciara watched back the season and she says it's been a major mindfuck. The last episode was the most difficult when they were leaving the house. It was such a big season, a good summer, and it felt like there was going to be a major pivot, and it was really emotional for Ciara watching her say goodbye to Amanda, and like Ciara said all those really beautiful, nice things about her. And she just says it was bittersweet. And then Jesse gets so emotional, and I'm again emotional, and I didn't even do anything to anyone. I didn't even hurt these people.
No, I can't imagine what it was like in that room because I can feel it through the screen.
And then this next part had me in tears again. So does Ciara regret pushing Amanda to do something about her relationship? Ciara says no, because at the time her friend was unhappy and she wanted her to be happy and wanted to feel a sense of relief. It made Ciara sad to see a woman not believe in herself and not think that she was worth anything or worthy of anything, or her value equated to a man that she was dating. And Ciara has never seen a healthy marriage in her life. She watched her mom struggle and have to fight for independence, but the independence was worth it. Right? I'm in tears through this whole thing. I didn't even do that justice, truly, but like...
It's wild to know that Ciara still means everything she did, and that shows her character and who she is, because she would do it again and again and again, even though it leads her down a path that causes her hurt too.
Mm-hmm. Let me tell you,
like, she's not bitter. She's not bitter that
me.
Amanda left her marriage and then went and fucked her ex. She's hurt because her friend would do this to her.
Yeah. Yeah, better person than me, because I think my anger would have been like,
oh,
yeah, I regret it. I wish
I
she
would
was
have
still in
been
her
so
shitty.
spiteful. I would have said, I hoped you stay in your shitty ass marriage, and he tore you apart every day of the week and said, fuck you. Like, that is not who Ciara is. Like,
no,
she's has a good character.
She's a good person. Because you and I would never sit here and be like, we're really good people.
I'm a bitch.
We know we have.
I would go low. I would cut where it hurts.
I would tell Amanda to fuck herself with a fucking cheese grater. Let me tell you, I'm Ariana low, okay?
Yes. And also, like, Ciara's talking about how, like, she has watched tragic marriages and people really struggle. Amanda has all the privileges in the world. And so it's like, what are you doing? It's just constantly a moment of like, I don't get it, Amanda. Like, you had access to get out, and you had money, and you're able to support yourself, and like, you had friends who supported you, and this is how your life ended up?
Mm-hmm. So Amanda's response to this is she's extremely appreciative of everything Ciara has done. Amanda knows she fucked up an incredible friendship, and that's something she'll have to live with for the rest of her life. Amanda will walk away from this set today to do a lot of thinking and reflecting about herself and what's important to her. But Amanda cannot say sorry more to Ciara. She's truly sorry for what she's done. And then she says the worst thing I think you could ever say about yourself: you do not deserve a friend like me.
We know.
Girl, you a bad friend. I don't think I'd ever want to say that about myself. First of all, let's touch really quick that Amanda's like, I'm going to leave here and do a lot of thinking about me and what I need. That's crazy.
It's about herself. And then again, it's about her being a friend to Ciara, not anything she owed her or anything. Like, it's always just like, you don't deserve me.
Oh, and also, not a lick of emotion. Not a lick.
Nope.
She could have been reading off a teleprompter.
I couldn't apologize more. No, you can't, because you're a bad person. You would never.
Also,
you should apologize more.
You've barely apologized. You didn't even know what we were talking about 5 minutes ago.
We know you can't apologize more. We know.
In regard. And Lindsay pipes in. She goes, hi. What did you think was going to happen?
This is the question I wanted to ask most.
Lindsay's like, knowing Ciara, what did you think when you were having these conversations? What did you think was going to happen?
Because also, let's remember, Lindsay has been on the opposite side of Ciara feeling like betrayed between a love triangle.
Austin.
Like, we've seen this go down without the long-standing emotional connection between two women. Yeah. Like, what?
And basically, the group comes to the conclusion that Amanda was willing to say, fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
I mean, truly, that is the only thing that you can draw from this.
And Ciara says, yeah, in this whole situation, I'm the part that's disposable.
Mm-hmm.
And Amanda says she just wasn't thinking fully.
We can tell. We know.
So Jesse is so emotional. Can I say in the unedited version, they did him so dirty.
I know,
I was like, I get he's emotional, but then in the extended version, I was like, oh, this is crazy.
His tears on his face and like his faces. I mean, I don't get how Amanda and Wes just sit there. I really don't.
Jesse, this summer, had a best friend who hooked up with his ex. So there's a lot of, he is Ciara. There's a lot of emotion
here. But it's reminding me that, like, I mean, we saw KJ say that, like, this hits him on a chord of, like, his dad treating people wrong. Like, other people are being triggered by their own experiences because of your bad behavior, and you guys don't seem to care. Like, Wes knew that, because that was last summer. So when Wes was lying all February, March, like, he knew.
To Jesse,
He knew this was his, like, trauma.
Jesse's friend, who's hooking up with his ex, also was lying to Jesse for months.
This is like a double whammy.
This is
like,
a mind
Jesse, your feelings are valid. Like, don't push your own feelings aside in this. Like, Ciara and Kyle should be like the front runners of this, but like you have some shit to work out.
Jesse, go to therapy. It's okay. This is crazy.
Cut West off. He's not a good person.
You are being put through is crazy. Yeah. Okay, so Jesse feels like he's losing a brother, and he hopes that Wes can improve and prove us wrong, but it doesn't look good. And Wes says he hates this. He wanted to be here and apologize. These friendships mattered to him, and it sucks to know he's responsible for all of this. Great. And then Andy says, no offense, but are you on beta blockers? Because Andy's like, Jesse is literally in tears, and you're not even looking at him.
No.
Wes says he isn't the best at showing emotion. He's like, I'm not really trying.
Again, that's your response is like, sorry, I'm not doing it for you. It's like your friend
trying to
is
stay composed.
sobbing.
He's trying to stay composed.
That's the concern. Like, your friend is sobbing. Care for him.
Also, why aren't we directing at both Amanda and West? Hello. But, okay.
I mean, Amanda is so zoned out. Again, I think she's asleep and is going to have another in regards moment.
Unwell. Commit her. Seriously.
Well, I'm actually kind of concerned. Like,
no. She's disassociating so hard. So basically, West at first, Andy straight up says, are you on beta blockers? He's like, oh, I'm just like trying to keep composed. And Ciara's like, or you're a sociopath. And then Wes is like, okay,
I'm not that.
I did take a beta blocker. And I was like, why didn't you just say?
This is the thing. He constantly lies until something way worse is accused of him, or the truth actually does come out. He waits as long as possible to tell the truth.
Yes. And Wes says if he was sitting next to Jesse, he would wrap his arms around him. And Jesse's like, no.
I don't get that either, though, because, like, using Carl being in between you of why you won't comfort your friend is weird to me. We've seen a lot of shit go down at, like, the Housewives reunions where they literally get up and go to their friend even when they're beefing so hard. If Jesse mattered to you that much and you, like, wanted to hug him and comfort him, you would squeeze in between him and Carl.
But also Jesse was like, don't touch me.
No, 1,000%. But, like, you can't be like, oh, but if I was next to him, like, I would care.
No,
why does proximity matter?
Crazy. And then Amanda, was it worth it? And Bailey is sitting there going, please say no, please say no, please say no, please say no. And Amanda says, that's an impossible question to answer. And Bailey's like, oh my God, just say no. But Amanda says in this moment, she wishes she could have both.
What?
That was the worst. I would have rather you said yes.
I would have rather you gone back to in regards to.
In regards to
what?
Was what worth it?
You want both?
And so Andy asks, are you two in love? They're not, which brings me back to Scandival. I had like flashbacks. Basically, they're not using the L word yet.
This is so 8th grade level of like, I mean, we're not like saying we love each other. What?
Jesse says West had told him that he could fall in love with Amanda. West says he is committed to this relationship. They're having conversations about being in love. And Mia starts laughing. Mia's like, this is ridiculous, you guys. And Bailey says, like, he's gonna embarrass Amanda so bad. Like, they're
so
all
bad.
The couch cringes are insane. So
because
they're having
you would have this reaction if you guys had just told people you have crushes on each other and, like, that's as far as it had gone. You chose to keep this a secret and then out it when you kind of had to, and you don't know where you're at.
So they are having conversations about their feelings because, so much was on the line with this. So might as well figure out they like each other.
Might as well talk about our feelings now.
They're exclusive now. And Lindsay's like, you have to be.
Like, Carl, you ran a race of one person and you're the winner. Yeah.
Congrats. Carl is revved up, dude. He sits forward and is like, really, Amanda? You're still with him after all this shit? You see this behavior? He's hooking up with 4 different girls and your former best friend? That's fucking crazy. And Amanda just says, okay, I hear you.
She's disassociating. She does not care.
Someone find out what was on the ground that she was looking at, because I would be so bored staring at the same spot.
I agree.
3 to 7 hours at this point.
It's impressive, her level of disassociation without passing out. I would simply fall asleep.
There must have been a bug that she was...
Maybe this is why she took an hour break, because she was like, I cannot stare at that ground for any longer. I need to leave.
She just has a song playing in her head the whole time.
My God.
In regards to what? I was singing.
Like, Carl being like, wait, I cannot take this embarrassment any longer. Carl, what is going on?
Lost it. Carl's like, this is insanity, dude. Are you okay?
And Carl's used to embarrassing, like, interactions. No, he can handle a lot.
Okay, so Andy asks West if he's able to give Amanda what she needs in a partner. West says, historically, no. But he's committed to this.
He didn't say committed to this. He's committed to trying to give her what she wants.
Hell yeah. Historically.
He's not committed to her.
You wouldn't think so.
Concepts of plans in my brain about being a boyfriend.
Yeah. My resume says don't give me the job, but I got in anyway. And so I'm the CEO, I guess.
Yeah. Last man on planet, you do have to procreate with me.
Yeah. So they just say this is what we talked about earlier. They want to get back to their early days. And Andy goes, early days? We're in the early days.
Because, reminder, they have not told us when this started, how long it's been going on. We don't have those details. So, based on your guys' standards of what we have been told, you guys fucked on after March 31st.
This is April we're filming this.
It's been like 3 weeks of like, you guys being something.
Early days. And Lindsay gets so activated. She's like, 6 weeks ago? What are we even talking about at this point?
And this is why I need a date from them. I need a general starting point, because what the fuck are the early days?
They kind of slipped, and Wes was like, no, like in February when things were
good.
There
it is.
And everyone's like, yeah, because you were infatuated. You're sneaking around. It's exciting.
That's hot.
Carl starts cracking up because this is the calmest person, the most mentally healthy person on here is dying of laughter because this is so crazy. The early days, let's say it was February 1st. Let's give you all the time in the world. That was like 2.5 months ago. We're still in the honeymoon phase, baby. What are you talking about? The good old days. This isn't a 30-year marriage.
This isn't your relationship with Kyle for 10 years where you're like, oh, I miss when like we were partying and having fun, which they didn't really have. But still, like 10 years? Okay, yeah, you could say that. It's barely been 10 weeks.
We want to go back to that fun day in the West Village. Yeah, everyone does. So do I. I want to go back to the fun days I had partying around the West Village. That's not fucking reality, you psychos. What are you talking about? The good old days? It sounds like 90% of your relationship so far has been sitting around going, we're committed to this, right?
Or like, should we tell people yet? Like, Jesse keeps asking. Like, it's a lot of like protecting a secret and being super conniving. So what are those good old days before people really caught on and you had to start being a straight up asshole more than you were for just pursuing this anyways?
And you know what they did to get back to the good old days? They escaped to Italy, which... That's not reality, honey. All marriages are better in Italy. And then you just got back. That's it.
But, like, I just cannot comprehend going to leave this reunion and being like, we're having a really hard time, so we're going to get it back to the good old days when we were sneaking around. Like, that's the dream. Like, we're, again, banking our entire life on this weird-ass relationship that you shouldn't be pursuing anyways. And it's not good. You're telling us you're not in a good space.
This is crazy, dude. Okay.
Let it go. Just let it go. Go date other people. You don't have to be here.
No, literally, this is your choice.
You're not on a stranded island alone. I would get it. I would get it if they were on an island. It's just the two of them. Sure. At a certain point, I would also probably bang my friend's ex given those circumstances.
Sure.
You're not in that. There is an entire sea of people in New York.
But what about that pressure, Meredith? They just got to get married at this point.
No pressure, no diamonds, baby.
You know what I think? I kind of think, as we're sitting here discussing it, Wes cannot get laid for a little bit by anyone else.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. There are a million Amandas who have no standards. Yes, he can.
He just doesn't want to deal with it. He doesn't want to, honestly, because I wouldn't want to either, to deal with the Amanda that it must be to, like, go through a hard time with this bitch, try to break up with her. Jesus Christ.
But also, he doesn't want to be the loser dating. Like, he can get laid, but he's a loser out in the dating field.
Yep.
And he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to be a single guy out there, like, with all the girls who won't sleep with him. Because there will be some who do. But he does not want to have to interact and flirt with the people who think he's a loser and think he's beneath them and 100%. All this stuff.
So Wes cares a lot about these friendships with the people in this room, which I think...
I can tell.
Wes's need to maybe be okay with these people might be the demise of him, but it's hard to tell right now.
Because he cannot stand on it and, like, truly be himself. He doesn't want... he doesn't want to be their friend. He wants their friendship.
Yeah.
Like, he wants to be cool with everyone.
You ate with that. That was really good.
Thanks.
10 out of 10.
I've been thinking about this shit for a long time.
Okay, yeah. He cares about the friendships in this room. And Lindsay goes, lie. That's a lie. And Andy even has to be like, okay, calm down.
And he's like, we only have this space for like 5 more minutes. Can we get the fuck out of here?
Kyle and Ciara needed that because they start laughing. And I think I think Lindsay's at this point here for comic relief. But Lindsay's like, I'm over this. And Wes just hopes he can be okay with his friends again.
He's delusional. He is as delusional as Amanda is zoned out.
So let's really quick talk about the Yankees game when Amanda says, act like you like me. To which Amanda says, sure, she probably said that, but that was probably part of a longer statement. And I was like,
say the statement.
First of all, there was a video. That's all you said. We saw that's all you said.
Okay,
and
but
second,
she could say that, it was clipped and that was the only portion showed on TV. Fine. Okay. But say
Meredith,
the statement.
Give me a statement that comes
that
after
ends.
Act like you like me.
Or that where it ends with act like you like me.
Go ahead. Something that's not crazy. Something that proves that we're in love.
No, truly, I have not been able to think of what you could possibly say around this.
I could give you a statement that proves they're not in love. Act like you like me. You're being a total fucking asshole. Or you're being a total fucking asshole. Act like you like me.
Everything around it is negative because even let's put something before it. Why aren't you kissing me like you care about me? Act like you like me.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a terrible kiss. Act like you like me.
Yeah.
That wasn't believable. Act like you like me.
Yeah. There's
nothing positive that goes with act like you like me.
So then Ben, I forgot you existed,
my guy, what are
wants
you
to
doing
say
here?
something. He's like, from the perspective of the boys, they had like boy summer, and Ben believed that Wes was like one of the boys. And what's most disappointing, and there's like, what's most disappointing to Ben is that Wes went after the boy's ex, right? Went after Kyle's ex. Because that's the other half of this that we're not paying as much attention to, but like, that is a part of it.
I mean, for the boys in the boys group, I get it. I kind of got annoyed when he first started saying boys, and I was like, whatever. But this is a valid point.
But Ben says what hurts the most is that every other boy is in tears, but it's a left down that Wes crushed everything, and he doesn't really understand the gravity of the situation because he's like not showing emotion. And Wes is like, today I learned that this is an issue. Today? We're in April.
Why are you guys learning so much today? You've talked to these people. You're not on a stranded island. You have been in communication with your friends.
Today, you realize this? You gotta be fucking kidding me. It cannot get worse. Every time I think that's the worst thing that could have happened, there's another level.
They are the dumbest people. Because even if I don't believe they fully believe this, but like the fact that you would say this is wild to me. How do you sit there and be like, I never thought that this would hurt Kyle so much, or like any of my other friends that I lied to them. Basic friendship 101.
He played football. He has to have CTE. Like, there's no other explanation at this point.
I'll drop kick him on the head just to really seal the deal.
This is crazy. So Ciara says that Jesse said that Wes was going to be combative today. So he basically, she's like, what does she even say? What's the point of this?
I think the general concept of this is that, like, I think because Jesse blew up his spot saying he was going to come in combative, and obviously Wes does see what's going on social media because people were very upset when Jesse said that I think Wes changed his strategy, took that fucking beta blocker, I think it was more, but either way, took his drugs and said, I'm just going to sit here and go, yep. And so Wes says he's hurt people and it breaks his heart and he's sorry at this point. People know friendships matter to him, but he compromised those. Which I don't get that, because how do we know that friendships matter to you? In what ways have you shown that friendships matter to you?
As you said, friendships matter to him, but being a friend does not matter to him. He wants friends. He wants to go out to the West Village bars with all. He wants to text the group chat and be like, "What are we doing? Yeah. What are we doing today, boys?"
He wants to be out and about, and he wants to be seen with people. He doesn't want to have any responsibilities the minute he leaves them.
He wants to be invited when Brianna Chicken Fry has a bar stool thing. Like, but he doesn't actually want to sit down and talk about Jesse getting over his cancer or Kyle going through his divorce or...
If it's on camera, he does.
Yeah. Or Ben dating Sabrina, whatever Ben's going through. But Ciara says they don't know that anymore about Wes because they don't know who he is because he's a completely different person than what he leads on to be. Mm-hmm. And Kyle says, how many situationships do you need to have to feel like a man? And Lindsay says, as long as he gains followers from each one, he can get something out of it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
He's so transactional with friends, with like lovers, like all of it. Even Bravo, like he was being boosted up to be the like peacock football guy. He loved this shit. He was pitching a show with Bravo for Summer House Ozarks. Like he was on the rise, and that's why I'm most shocked by him because like he did have it all.
Lose. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He just had to not be a terrible person.
Calculated this wrong.
But that proves to his core what a terrible person he is because he had everything and he still fucked it up.
All of that wasn't enough. Like, I care about Ciara, but like, fuck Ciara's feelings. You know, who cares about her friendship? All of the things he cares about most, business, limelight, friendship-ish, this show, another show, like cementing him in Bravo history. He just like let it all go to the wayside.
He gave it up to spite Ciara.
But like he didn't realize that at the time, I don't think.
I don't think so
what the
either.
gamble was. Because he never would have done this. If he knew what he knows now, he never would have done this. And that's the problem. And that's why Amanda and him won't last, is like he's trying to figure out how to get out of this in the cleanest way now to not fuck it up more.
Because he still has his stupid podcast with who I hate the most, Sophie Cunningham in the whole entire world. He's not even sorry. He's on this podcast talking about the fallout, talking about why like this is so funny to him. He's so ridiculous. Anyway, so then we go on a break. Everyone kind of leaves except Kyle, Ciara, and West. And Andy.
Such an awkward trio.
Andy's here, don't forget. And me and Lindsay go in their dressing room, and they're both like, we know less than when we came in.
Same. And then they lied so much that they muddied the waters.
So back to the stage. Andy asks West how he feels, and West says horrible. And Kyle's kind of like standing up, kind of half blocking Ciara. He's like in the middle of West and Ciara. And he says that he's still trying to figure out how much West even cares. And Ciara gets up and walks past and goes, he doesn't. Nope. And then Kyle says, usually a reunion is for resolution, but like he still wants to know what the plan is, not just for West, but like this affects everyone. And then Kyle starts to leave the stage, but Amanda comes back and they hug, and Kyle absolutely crumbles. He is distraught. And Amanda goes, we'll talk tomorrow. And let me tell you, no, bitch. If I'm Kyle, number blocked after today.
Yes, because how do you do everything that you've done to him this entire reunion, which like some of it he deserves, and then go like hug
Expect
him?
his friendship. Because she knows Kyle loves her so much, which is like Kyle's demise. He has a whole heart. And like, I don't know what it's like to date someone and be married to them for 10 years. And then like not have
your rise
them.
To fame with them. Like, I think that's what links them so hard together.
I don't get it. But Kyle acknowledges that like Amanda has lost literally everyone. He's not going to cut her off. And she's going to use him as her support. She's going to vent about West and her situation to Kyle and know that he just has to take it.
My one, like, hope and, like, in this is that in his People interview that he released, he said, like, his patience is running out and Amanda needs to come get her shit out of his apartment. Like, he is at his limit. I don't think he would ever cut her off fully, but there are levels of him that are no longer going to be accessible to him.
It's that laziness. She's too lazy to come get it.
She's so lazy. He actually ate with that. He was always...
He ate with it.
That was truthful.
My bad, Kyle. You ate with it. But Kyle hates that their 10-year relationship is talked about like it's all bad. And so we're all coming back. We're not back filming, but we're all coming back to the stage. And Lindsay goes with her wine glass in hand, like a drunk aunt. She's like, Andy, I haven't learned anything today. Like, there's been no clarity. And Andy's like, should we start over? And Lindsay's like, yeah, kind of.
I literally responded. I go, yeah, actually, I want to redo this whole thing.
Put Lindsay in charge. Because Lindsay's like, I'm so confused how this high-risk decision obviously, like, wasn't discussed by these two, I'm paraphrasing, but morons.
No, genuinely, like, you guys, I truly don't think that they thought about the risks in totality.
No, because everyone's like, look at the boys. Everyone's a mess. And it's more than just like the main 4 people, which points to the show, right? Like, this is everyone's careers.
And we've already seen a scandal go down on Bravo. They know that a scandal can take down a friend group, and a friend group going down is what takes down the show. This is people's livelihoods. People don't have real jobs anymore. It would be hard to enter the workforce after being a reality TV person.
And Lindsay just says, like, it's very short-sighted for a hookup or a fling.
It really is.
And they talk about, which this I agree, the whole day has been overshadowed. And here's the thing, we had a fun summer. We had a lot of things we could have talked about.
Yep.
But KJ, Bailey, Ben, Levi, they all got overshadowed by this bullshit.
Yeah.
Lindsay didn't get to talk about her life with Gemma, right? Carl didn't even get to talk about Soft Bar, really. Jesse didn't really get to talk about his music career. Like, Mia didn't get to talk about her mom a lot because we have to deal with this bullshit. So not only did you ruin our livelihoods and our careers and the friend group, but you also really ruined this season and this reunion because no one's going to remember this season besides the season that the scandal dropped.
Yeah.
Which sucks because a lot of great things happened
They
here.
worked very hard on it.
And all these 2 idiots have to say is, we have a lot to think about after today.
And it feels like they've done no thinking, too. If they had, like, broken up or not gone to Italy or, like it seemed like they separated, I would genuinely be like, okay, they're taking it under consideration now. But their actions say otherwise. Wes on his podcast, them gallivanting around Italy. Like, I don't believe you.
She's spitting in his mouth. Like, that's not the... That's
Katie
not
DeLuca's
Instagram
story, making fun of the stripes in the fuck-ass bun. You're not taking this seriously.
If you 2 didn't rub together your 2 brain cells to think about what was going to happen for this, I doubt you're going to go home and fucking think about anything.
No. And now in the privacy of your home, you're going to watch the fucking show and think about it?
I'm sorry, Amanda doesn't even know what happened.
No, in regards to what?
In regards? The regards of what? Yeah. So we come back, we film a little, how do we move forward? Kyle says he still loves Amanda, but Kyle has to make a big effort to be at peace. No one cares about his side, and he gets that. But he also talks about how, like, when they were getting divorced, they made it clear they didn't want to have a bad breakup because, like, they've seen what breakups do to friendships. Like, it does tear at everything, and they wanted to keep this thing sacred. But obviously, like, Amanda and Wes didn't feel the same way when they made their decision.
How do you go from like, oh, I need to be considerate about my divorce because like I don't want to blow up this group, to choosing a partner that will blow up this group? So you knew. I think it's because she didn't have to. She didn't have to be considerate about the divorce because she was first the one who initiated, right? So she has to be like, Kyle, don't be bitter. But then also she knew she was going to win the breakup. But I still think that she thought about being on the same page with Kyle. I mean, they do have 2 dogs. Like, we even saw that on Vanderpump, you know? Putting out a joint statement. Like, she did make steps to make this more comfortable. And I bet they did talk to their friends before they released that statement.
Yeah.
She knows the steps she needs to go through. So this, in their friend group, like, who cares about the public? Like, let's be honest. In the friend group, there wasn't weird vibes. Like, they've been actively hanging out with their friends together. Kyle gave that speech on premiere night to Amanda. Like, they put forth effort to have an amicable breakup.
I think it's really just because, like, in the divorce, she wouldn't have been embarrassed. But this was the embarrassing thing. And so she's like, we're not even going to think about it. We're not. If we don't think about the consequences, they don't exist, right?
Kyle cares very much about the group and the show. And I wonder if Kyle's leading the charge. And so without Wes leading the charge on that, like, there's nobody who has a brain cell to give a shit.
No. The 2 of them have 2 combined.
That's more than, I mean, Raquel had more brain cells than this.
No, she went to college, though. Sorry, that's a separate thing. But Kyle doesn't know how to move forward. Ciara does have a lot of hurt. She says in some ways this was cathartic and she's ready to move on with her life. We have to mention that Ciara through all this, has raised over $160,000 for Girl Scout Troop 6,000.
Obsessed.
And in honor of that, Amanda and Wes, we have Girl Scout cookies here. And so we cheers. And Andy's just kind of like, thanks for stopping by, I guess. Even though Amanda her brain didn't even enter the building.
I do also want to point out that Miha on her story after this aired was also promoting another charity, and that goes to show who these people are. You know, Ciara and Miha are trying to use the 15 minutes of fame or like focus or spotlight to highlight greater and better things while Amanda is spitting in West's mouth.
Disgusting. Okay, so we have this bonus episode, and basically I'm just gonna wrap it up like this. Amanda and Lindsay have a conversation, Wes and Kyle have a conversation, and Ciara and Mia have a conversation. Great. Put a bow on it. Stick it in the archives. I don't want it anymore.
We gotta get more answers from In the City reunion. We do also have that coming.
Ooh, Bravo keeps their foot on Amanda's neck, and I love it.
Dude, you know they never were gonna do a reunion until all this shit went down.
No, of course not. And bring in Katie DeLuca, man. Put her on the end of that couch and have her defend Amanda from all the way back there.
Hey, you have one friend here now. Let's see how much she says.
Let's see what happens. Put her on the opposite couch all the way at the end so she could look at Amanda, and then the two of them. Amanda can stare at Katie DeLuca instead of the floor all day.
Dead-ass stare.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well, it was a long episode, but it was needed. We're wrapping it up. It's done. Season 10, kind of. We have the bonus episode. But we have In the City, which we will obviously be covering. We're behind on it, but we wanted to put this to bed. Lots of exciting things coming out, but do all the things I mentioned at the beginning of the episode if you're like, I want to be the first to know. But with that, for the last time this season, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.